have a new story that we're going to read, and this one's about a man who comes into a town and wants to make some soup, but he has to get creative on how he gets his ingredients. Alright, but before we read, if there's something that I don't understand, when I read, I can always ask myself a question. I know the title of the story is Stone Soup, okay? That doesn't make sense to me because people don't put stones in their soup. So I'll ask myself, what is stone soup? How is it made? Alright, well, I guess I'm going to have to listen to the story to find out. Alright, another thing, let's think about why someone is making stone soup. Alright, so think about why they're making stone soup. Is it because they're hungry? Is it because other people are hungry? Is it because they're crazy and they want to make stone soup? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Alright? So sit back, relax, and listen to Stone Soup. Oh, sorry. A long time ago, a young man set out from his village to find work in a faraway place. We had walked for many days, and he was tired and hungry. At last, he came to a village, and he stopped at the town square, where the villagers warmed themselves beside a big fire. Now, why did the man stop at the village? Remember what we read. Why did he stop at the village? Yeah, he stopped at the village because he had been walking for a very long time and was hungry. Okay, so here we go. I am hungry, said the man to an old woman. I'll work if you feed me. I'm sorry, young man, but I am very poor and I have only enough food for myself, said the old woman. The young man was disappointed, but he had an idea. He picked up a small gray stone. Well then, may I please borrow a large kettle? He politely asked. I'd like to make some stone soup. Now, whatever will this man do with a kettle and a stone? Does that make sense? For him to throw a stone in soup and what? We're going to have to find out. I'm just as confused as you. Soup from a stone, said the woman. I have never heard of it. It's a secret recipe, said the man. It makes soup fit for a king. The old woman laughed and said loudly so her friends could hear, I have a kettle. Let's see you make your stone soup. The man filled the kettle and put it on the fire. He plopped the stone into the water. Thank you, said the young man. This will be excellent stone soup. Now, if only I had a potato, it would really be fit for a king. Now the woman was curious. I might have a potato to spare. And she quickly brought the man a large brown potato. Then the farmer joined the group around the fire and he asked, What is this young man doing? The traveler is making stone soup, whispered the woman. He says it will be fit for a king. And they smiled at each other. Who ever heard of such a thing? Now, what did the woman and the man think of the stranger's plan? Did they like his plan? Did they think he was crazy for it? Yeah, they thought he was crazy. Thought he was crazy. Alright, and let's keep going. It will be fit for a king, said the young man. But it would be even better if I had an onion to add to the kettle. I have an onion, said the farmer, and he soon brought a large onion, which the young man tossed into the kettle. Not long after that, the village tinsmith came along. What's going on here? The woman and the farmer winked at her and said, This young man is making stone soup. He says it will be fit for a king. The tinsmith said, Soup from a stone? Who ever heard of it? Yes, it will be fit for a king, said the young man, but it would be even better if I had a carrot to add to the kettle. The tinsmith winked back to the other two and returned with a long, crispy orange carrot. The young man chopped it and tossed it into the pot. What do you think this man's going to do next? Do you think he's going to just let the soup cook with the stone and the carrot and the onion and the potato? Or do you think he's going to ask for more stuffer in the soup? I think he might ask for more stuff. Let's see if I'm right. About this time, the village butcher was closing his shop for the day, and he smelled the soup. He asked, "What's going on here?" And the villagers answered, trying to hide their laughter. "This young man is making soup from a stone. He says it will be fit for a king." "Soup from a stone? Who ever heard of it?" asked the butcher. "Yes, soup from a stone," said the young man. "Now," he said, "if only I had some meat, that would make it truly fit for a king." By now, the butcher was laughing with the other villagers. He thought he'd join the fun, too. "Meat, you say? Well, lad, I'll give you some meat for your soup." So what do you think of the soup now? Is it crazy soup? Is it soup that's made out of a stone? Or do you think it's going to be tasty soup? Me personally, I think it's going to be tasty soup. He's got meat, he's got carrots, he's got onions, he's got a potato. Sounds to me like awesome soup. Like really good soup. So let's see. Then each of the villagers found their way to join the fun. Some brought more carrots, some brought potatoes and celery, and even brought barley, flour, salt, and pepper. The young man tossed everything into the boiling kettle with the stone, and in a little while the soup was done, and there was enough for everyone in the village. Everyone gathered around a big table in the town square. The young man served huge bowls of delicious soup. People ate until they were full, even shared the soup. Everyone shared the soup. Do you think that this was a good idea for everyone to share the soup? I think it was. You want to know why? I think it was because they all gave a little piece to make one pot of soup for everyone. Right? So, soup from a stone. Well, I never, said the woman. And they all congratulated the young man. "Come back again soon," they said. "This soup is really fit for a king." Now, why did the soup made with a stone taste so good? Well, it tasted so good because the stone was just to make people curious. And then he asked for the ingredients. And he got ingredients. He got potatoes, celery, carrots, flour, meat from the butcher. Got all this stuff. That's what made it taste so good. All right. So the young man set off toward his home with a smile, and the villagers never found out his secret. So, what really is stone soup? Is stone soup really soup with stones in it? Well, it's kind of soup with the stones in it, but it only has one stone. But the rest, the stone goes to the bottom, so you don't even have to get it. But everything else is in the pot: the meat, the carrots, the potato, the celery, the onions. And it's all in there, and you just scoop it in. You miss the stone, and you pour it out, and it makes great soup. Did the soup taste good? Oh yeah, it did. It tasted really good. And how did you know? How did we know that the soup tasted so good? Well, we know because in the story, it told us that the people shared the soup, and they went around to the soup. They wanted more soup, and they told the man to come back anytime. Was this man clever? He definitely was clever. He was able to trick the people into giving him the ingredients to make soup, which is great. That's what he was supposed to do. Now, if this traveler came to your house, Would your family give him things for his stone soup? I know my family would, because we like helping out people. And if he came walking up and said, yeah, I'm really hungry, you know, but I need some stuff to make my soup, I think we would spare his soup. You know, we might not even make him make soup. We might just let him in the house and cook it up with us and have dinner with him. But make sure that if anyone does come to your door, that you let an adult answer your door. Okay? So just make sure you're making smart and safe choices. So now that we've read the story, we've gone over what it was about, let's talk a little bit about what you need to do. And that is complete practice book page 149. Okay? On this page, you need to print it out and then write your name at the top. Then you need to color in only the ingredients that you would put into, that the traveler put into the soup, and then color 2 more things that you would put into the soup. Alright? So altogether, you should have everything colored that the man put into the soup, which would be like carrots and onions and potatoes, alright, and meat and a stone, alright? And then you're going to pick 2 other things on here to put in your bowl, in your stone soup, alright? Make sure you have someone take a picture of you working on this and a picture of your finished work. And please don't forget to color in very small circles so you have more control over your crayon and can stay inside those lines. Alright? So pause this video and complete practice book page 149. Alright, welcome back. I can't wait to see everything that you decided to put in the stone soup. I mean, there was an ice cream cone on there, there was a shoe on there. I mean, if you put the shoe in there, I don't know. It might taste good, I don't know. Might not. But it'll be interesting. I can't wait to see how well you stayed inside the lines when you were coloring and the ingredients that you put in your stone soup. Alright, well, we have one more thing that we need to do, and that is to review some of our high frequency words, or words that we use all the time in our reading and writing. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's start out with the word I. Okay? Start out with the word I. How do you spell I? Spell I. Ready? Spell I. I. Very good. That's a very simple word to spell. Our next word is the word A, and you spell that just A. A. Okay? Our next word is a little longer. It's C. You spell C, S-E-E. How do you spell C? Well, let me tell you. C is spelled S-E-E. Alright? Go ahead, one last time. How do you spell C? And that spells? Very good. It spells the word see. The next word is my. My is spelled M-Y. How do you spell my? You spell my M-Y. M-Y spells my. And our last word is to. T-O spells to. Ready? Spell it with me. To is spelled T-O. T-O spells to. T-O spells the word to. Alright. Well, here's a poem, and I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to go through, and we're going to find all those words that we just went over, okay? So, here we go. I'm going to read the poem. It's called I Went Upstairs. So we have, I went upstairs to make my bed. I made a mistake and bumped my head. I went downstairs to milk my cow. I made a mistake and milked the sow. I went to the kitchen to bake a pie. I made a mistake and baked a fly. Okay? Now, I'm sure you've been looking for these words. You've been looking for I, for a, for to, and my. Alright? So let's go ahead let's start by finding all of our I's, okay? So I'm just going to point them all out to you, okay? Point to one and see if I point it out. Are you ready? Have your finger pointing there. Alright, here I go. Ready? Right there's an I. There. There. And there. There's one. There's our last one. And I noticed I missed one, and that would be right here, up here. If you're pointing up here, great job, you've got it. Alright? The next word I want to look for is A. Alright? So take your finger off the word I, find the word A. Anywhere in here. There's a bunch of them, so I know you can find it. Alright, ready? I'm going to show you all the A's. Here. Here. There's one. Here's one. And there's one. Alright? And there is one down here, but that's not part of the poem, the rhyme, okay? The next word I want to look for is my. Find the word my. There's two of them, so you have to look a little harder than we have before. Here we go, ready? Here's the first my. Here's the second my, and oh, there are three. I missed one. Here's another my right there. Okay? And the last one we're going to look for is a new word, two. There are 3 twos in here. Find T-O, two. Here's our first one inside that purple triangle. Here's our next one. And our last one. Alright, the only thing we have left to do is to create a sentence. So let's go. So the sentence that we need to build is, I see my hat. Can you find the word I and point to it? Very good. It's right there. Right there's the word I. The next word we need to find is see. Remember, see is spelled S-E-E. Okay? Very good. You should be pointing right there. Bring C up there to have I see. So I see my. Find the word my. Good job. Put it right there. So I see my hat. We have a picture of a hat, so that's easy to find. I see my hat. Is that a sentence? No. What do you need? A period. Some kind of punctuation. That makes it a complete sentence or a complete thought. It lets the reader know that you have completed your thought and are going to move on to the next one if you were going to write more than one sentence. So our sentence is, I see my hat. All right. Great job today. See you tomorrow.